Well, I decided that I'm really young. I don't want to look back in 5 years from now and feel like he took something from me when he's really not that type of person.
In the spring of 2025, the carefully curated facade of Kylie Jenner's billion-dollar beauty empire began to splinter, not from external rivals or financial collapse, but from the people who once built her success from the shadows. Whispers turned into headlines as multiple former employees of Kylie Cosmetics and Kylie Skin came forward with troubling allegations that painted a stark contrast to the polished image Kylie has long maintained. From unpaid wages and unsafe working conditions to claims of bullying, silencing tactics, and racial discrimination, the accusations suggested something deeper than brand mismanagement. They hinted at a systemic rot buried beneath a glittering empire. It began quietly. A class action lawsuit was filed in a Los Angeles court in late March 2025, led by 4 former employees from Kylie's Oxnard manufacturing facility. These weren't just disgruntled ex-staff, they were lab technicians, product packagers, and distribution workers, many of whom had been with the company since its rapid rise in 2016. According to court documents obtained by multiple outlets, including The Hollywood Reporter and Insider, the plaintiffs alleged that they were regularly denied overtime pay, forced to work through legally mandated breaks, and subjected to unsafe chemical exposure without proper protection. One worker detailed a horrifying incident in which a colleague passed out from fumes while mixing a foundation batch, and was told by a supervisor to walk it off and get back to the floor. But what truly escalated the story into a viral firestorm were the audio recordings leaked just days after the suit was filed. In one, a woman identified by the plaintiffs as a senior operations manager can be heard berating a young Latina employee, accusing her of slowing down the line and warning her to watch how she talks about Kylie, or she won't just lose her job, she'll disappear from the industry. The veiled threat wasn't subtle, and for many viewers, it pulled back the curtain on a corporate culture allegedly fueled by fear and image control. Kylie Jenner, the youngest member of the Kardashian Jenner dynasty, and once hailed as the youngest self-made billionaire by Forbes, had built her fortune on empowerment, on being the girl boss who could sell a lip kit and make millions overnight. But now, that same empire was under scrutiny, with growing suspicion that beneath the aesthetic perfection was a machine willing to silence, intimidate, and discard the very people who helped shape it. As the headlines spread, Kylie's team moved quickly. A vague denial was posted to Instagram stories, a now familiar PR strategy among celebrity circles. "We value every member of our team and are committed to fair and ethical practices," the statement read, white text on black background, disappearing after 24 hours. But the internet wasn't buying it, not this time, not when the next leak dropped. TMZ obtained a cache of internal emails and Slack messages from Kylie Skin's corporate office, revealing a disturbing pattern of retaliation. Employees who had voiced concerns about safety standards or raised flags about unpaid overtime were allegedly flagged by HR and reassigned to shifts with higher injury risk, or let go entirely under vague team restructuring just weeks after speaking up. One particularly damning email from a senior manager read, "She's starting to talk. Let's find a way to transition her out before she poisons the rest." The manager didn't name Kylie directly. They didn't have to. But this wasn't just about bad management. A former executive assistant who worked closely with Kylie from 2020 to 2023 spoke to Rolling Stone under condition of anonymity. Her account introduced a twist that shifted public perception entirely. Kylie wasn't clueless. She wasn't being kept in the dark. She orchestrated the silence, the assistant said. "I watched her review termination lists. She'd say things like, 'too loud' or 'she's not the vibe,' and that would be it. Done. Gone. She's obsessed with aesthetic and control. If you mess up the image, you're out." The assistant recounted a specific moment in 2022 when an employee with severe eczema on her hands, aggravated by chemical exposure in the warehouse, begged to be moved to another department. Kylie, walking through the facility on a rare surprise visit, reportedly whispered to her creative director, "She shouldn't be near product. That's disgusting." The woman was fired 3 days later. The public image of Kylie Jenner as a soft-spoken beauty mogul, the quietest Kardashian, the most relatable billionaire, started to erode. She wasn't the passive figurehead. According to these insiders, she was the architect. And then came the betrayal that no one saw coming, the one from inside her own family. The lawsuits were bad, the leaked emails were worse, but the true fracture came from within. For the first time in the Kardashian-Jenner empire's history, the family's golden image, tightly managed for over a decade, started to slip. Not because of public scandal, but because one of their own broke the code of silence. On April 8th, a private phone conversation between Kylie and her older sister Kim was leaked to the media by an anonymous insider, reportedly someone with access to encrypted iCloud backups. The audio, verified by independent journalists and quickly removed from several platforms via legal takedowns, lasted just under 5 minutes. But it sent shockwaves through Hollywood. Kylie's voice is sharp, clipped, not the soft, polished version the world knows from her TikToks. "They're blowing this out of proportion," she says. "It's not my fault if some girl can't handle basic warehouse work." Kim's voice, calm but cautious, cuts through. "Kai, it's not about the warehouse, it's the optics. You can't fire people for being seen. Someone's going to come for your equity next. Do you understand that?" Kylie snaps back. "Let them. I made this brand. I made this family relevant again." Kim sighs audibly. "Mum's already panicking. Balenciaga's pulling you from next quarter's drop, and you know what that means for Skims. Don't drag us down with you." It was a rare glimpse behind the curtain. A conversation not scripted for Hulu, not framed with perfect lighting, but raw and real. For fans, it confirmed long-held suspicions. The family wasn't just a brand, it was a business cartel, and when one product starts to burn, the others scramble to put out the fire before it spreads. More cracks began to appear. Fashion insiders reported that Kylie's much-hyped capsule collection with Balenciaga, teased for over a year, had been quietly shelved. Industry whispers claimed the brand had concerns about reputational risk. Meanwhile, leaked documents showed that Morphe, one of Kylie's earliest cosmetic partners, had been in settlement talks with several of the same employees involved in the current lawsuit since 2022. And just when the dust seemed to settle, another woman stepped forward. Not a warehouse worker, not a manager, a former influencer, someone who had once been a face of Kylie Skin. She had proof. Her name was Talia Monroe. A micro-influencer turned skincare ambassador, Talia was one of the glowing faces behind the 2021 Kylie Skin, Real Girls campaign. At the time, she had under 100,000 followers, the perfect candidate for Kylie's relatability narrative. Young, diverse, and loyal. But behind the soft-filtered Instagram stories and PR-friendly captions, Talia says she lived a very different reality. In a video posted to YouTube just a week after the lawsuits broke, Talia appeared visibly shaken, sitting barefaced in a hoodie, no music, no edits. Her voice trembled, but her message was clear. "I stayed quiet because I thought they could ruin me, and honestly, they tried. But after hearing those workers talk about what happened to them, I couldn't sit on this anymore." Talia claimed that during the 2021 campaign, Kylie's team put enormous pressure on ambassadors to present flawless skin, even going as far as to send them a mandatory retouching guideline kit. "We were told, verbatim, that Kylie wouldn't approve content if there were any visible pores, discoloration, or bumps," she said. One girl got dropped because she had a breakout before a shoot. But it didn't stop there. Talia then played a screen-recorded FaceTime call from March 2021, a private moment she had secretly saved after what she called a total breakdown behind the scenes. The video shows Kylie, makeup-free, seated in what appears to be her glam room. The call is brief but chilling. "You're not really on brand for the skin line right now," Kylie says flatly. Talia responds, "Because I have acne." Kylie pauses. "It's not that. It's just, we sell a fantasy. You either get that or you don't." The clip spread like wildfire, reposted by fan pages, dissected by TikTok creators, and covered by BuzzFeed, Rolling Stone, and The Cut. Comments flooded in, "This is the real Kylie. So much for self-love. How do you sleep at night, knowing girls are hurting themselves to look like you?" Suddenly, it wasn't just a lawsuit, it was a movement. Protesters began showing up outside Ulta stores, carrying signs that read, "Fantasy at what cost?" and "Boycott billionaire beauty." Former fans posted videos of themselves throwing Kylie products in the trash. The conversation shifted from scandal to reckoning, not just with Kylie, but with the industry she represented. And then, just when it couldn't get worse, a former friend, someone from Kylie's tightest circle, broke their silence. And this one had nothing left to lose. Her name was Anastasia Stasi Karanikolaou, once Kylie Jenner's ride or die, her travel companion, her twin flame on Instagram, the girl always just out of frame in every glam shot. For nearly a decade, Stasi had been closer to Kylie than even Kendall at times. But when she disappeared quietly from Kylie's grid in late 2024, fans assumed it was just another celebrity fallout. Maybe a rebrand. Maybe Stasi had simply moved on. But on May 5th, 2025, Stasi returned. Not with a selfie, not with a skincare discount code, with a statement, one that shattered whatever remained of Kylie's manufactured illusion. In an exclusive interview with the Daily Beast, Stasi laid bare the last 3 years of her friendship, a slow burn of manipulation, control, and silence. And for the first time, it wasn't Kylie's employees, collaborators, or fans calling her out. It was family. "I was there when she started Kylie Skin," Stasi began. "She told me we were going to build it together, that we were going to be the new wave. I sat in rooms with chemists, investors, brand consultants. I believed in her, in what we were selling. But then, when the fame hit another level, I saw her change." According to Stasi, Kylie began viewing everyone, even friends, as employees. "We weren't people anymore. We were extensions of the brand." She'd say things like, "You can't wear that to dinner. It's not Kylie aesthetic." Or, "Delete that post. It doesn't match my color palette." It was suffocating. We couldn't be real. We could only look real. But the moment that finally broke her wasn't about business. It was personal. "A girl from the warehouse came to me once at an event," Stasi said. "She was young, terrified. She said she got a chemical burn on her hands and was told to lie about it. She didn't know who to tell, so I told Kylie." You know what Kylie said? She laughed. She said, "She's lucky to be here at all. That girl was folding towels at a spa last year." Stasi's voice cracked in the interview. "That was the moment I realized she didn't care about anyone, not her fans, not her staff, not even me." The backlash was immediate and different this time. It wasn't rage, it was betrayal. Thousands of fans unfollowed Kylie within hours. Beauty influencers began publicly cutting ties. Morphe pulled all Kylie products from their storefronts, and Ulta quietly archived her online listings. But perhaps the most crushing blow came from her mother, Kris Jenner. On the same day Stasi's interview dropped, Kris posted a cryptic Instagram story. No words, just a photo of the Kardashian Jenner family around a dinner table. Kylie was not there. By the end of the week, reports surfaced that Coty Inc., the conglomerate that owns a controlling stake in Kylie Cosmetics, had entered internal review of its partnership. Legal analysts began speculating whether the combined lawsuits and employee claims might trigger an FTC inquiry into deceptive branding and labor practices. The empire wasn't just cracking, it was collapsing in real time. And as the world watched the downfall of a billionaire unfold, one truth became painfully clear. You can build a kingdom on fantasy, you can sell it with filters. But when the people you step on finally find their voices, no amount of lip gloss can silence the truth.